Right then, everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at something that I think a lot of you will find interesting, those phrases native English speakers use that leave everyone else scratching their heads.
It's so true. Those everyday phrases that sound simple but actually pack a lot of cultural weight.
Exactly. And I'll be the first to admit that I've probably used some of these without even realizing how strange they might sound to someone learning English.
Well, we're going to break down 10 of them today.
10. Brilliant. Should we just jump right in then?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. First up, imagine you and a friend are trying to decide what to do.
Okay.
You suggest watching a movie or playing a game, and your friend says, I don't mind, it's up to you. What is that all about?
It's up to you. Simple phrase, right?
Sounds simple enough.
But it can be a little confusing because it goes beyond just the words themselves.
Oh, how so?
Well, on the surface, it seems like the person saying, I don't have a preference, you choose. But it's also a way of giving the other person a sense of control, you know?
Mm-hmm. You're right. It's like they're saying, I trust your judgment, so you pick.
Exactly. It's a subtle way of being polite and respectful while also empowering the other person.
I like that. It's more than just indecision. There's a whole social dynamic going on there.
You got it.
Now, for our next phrase, let's say you're going about your day and suddenly, bam, your long-lost friend calls out of the blue.
Out of the blue. That's a great one.
I know, right? It's such a visual phrase.
It is. It's like a bolt from the blue. Sudden, unexpected, surprising.
And we use it for all sorts of things, not just phone calls.
Oh, absolutely. Anything that happens without warning, something that catches you off guard, that's out of the blue.
It's so interesting how we use these little metaphors to describe the world around us.
It adds a layer of color to our language.
Okay, on to the next one. You're at work, swamped with deadlines, and someone asks you for a favor.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Right. And in that moment, you need a second to gather your thoughts and figure out how you're going to respond.
Okay.
So you say something like, I'm not sure. I'll get back to you later today.
Classic, I'll get back to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a brilliant way to buy yourself some time without saying no right away.
Exactly. It's like saying, I hear you, I respect your request, but I need a moment to sort things out.
It shows you're taking their request seriously, but you need some time to process.
Now picture this. You're at a cafe, about to use the loo, and you ask your friend, can you keep an eye on my bag while I go to the restroom?
Keep an eye on another one that sounds simple but has a deeper meaning.
It's more than just looking at something, isn't it?
It is. It's about taking responsibility, making sure something's safe and looked after.
Like you could keep an eye on a child playing in the park or even a project at work.
Precisely. It's about being watchful, attentive, and making sure things are running smoothly.
Very versatile phrase.
It is.
All right, last one for now. You're feeling a bit rough, not your usual self.
Happens to the best of us.
Someone asks if you're okay, and you say, not really, I'm feeling a bit under the weather today.
Under the weather. Now that's an interesting one. It's like a softer way of saying you're not feeling well.
Without being too dramatic.
Exactly. It's a polite way to signal you're not at your best without going into too much detail.
Almost poetic in a way, isn't it?
It is. Like our well-being is somehow tied to the weather, but that's a discussion for another time.
Right. 5 down and 5 to go. We'll be back after a quick word from our sponsor with 5 more phrases that might leave you wondering what on earth we're talking about.
See you in a bit. All right. Are you ready for 5 more?
Of course. Hit me with them.
Okay, so you've just started a new job.
Okay, new job.
And everyone's a bit hesitant to approach the new person, you know?
Yeah. New person, bit awkward.
So someone suggests telling a joke to break the ice.
Break the ice. I love that one. It's like you're trying to create a more relaxed atmosphere, right?
Exactly. Especially in those situations where people might be a bit shy or unsure how to interact.
Like metaphorically smashing through a barrier so everyone can start connecting.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
So it's not about like serving ice cream or something.
No ice cream involved. It's really about those initial interactions that help people feel more comfortable.
So if I walked in here wearing a silly costume, that would be breaking the ice.
Well, it would certainly get people talking.
Good point. All right, next phrase. You've been working hard all day and you're ready to pack it in.
Long day. Yeah.
Someone suggests, let's call it a day and finish tomorrow.
Call it a day. Such a satisfying phrase.
It is. It's like recognizing that you've put in enough effort for one day.
And it's time to step back and recharge.
And a good reminder to find that balance between work and rest.
Absolutely.
Okay, this one's a little trickier. Imagine someone's made a big mistake at work. They missed a deadline, or maybe upset an important client,
Not good.
and someone says, "Oh dear, they're in hot water now."
In hot water. That one always makes me think of someone in trouble.
It's such a visual phrase, isn't it? Like being stuck in a boiling pot.
It is. It really captures the feeling of being in a difficult situation.
Definitely not where you want to be.
Nope.
All right, let's try another one. Two friends are trying to choose a restaurant for dinner.
Okay, sounds familiar.
One of them can't decide between Italian or Thai.
Classic dilemma.
And their friend says, "Come on, make up your mind."
Ah, yes. Make up your mind. We use that one a lot, don't we?
I know I do. It's like a gentle nudge to get someone to make a decision.
Especially if they've been taking ages.
Sometimes it can be a bit impatient though, can it?
Yeah, it depends on how you say it. The tone of voice is important.
All right, last one for this round. You're working on a project with a team,
Teamwork makes the dream work.
and everyone finally agrees on a plan.
Oh, that feeling of unity.
Exactly. And someone says, "Great, now we're all on the same page."
On the same page. So important for collaboration, right?
It is. It means everyone understands each other and is working towards the same goal.
It's like that feeling of, we've got this, we're in sync.
Love that feeling.
Me too.
So we've uncovered another 5 everyday English phrases, and I think it's safe to say they're not always as straightforward as they sound.
You're telling me. They're full of subtle meanings and cultural nuances.
I don't know about you, but I'm quite tired after all that.
Yeah, it's amazing how much thought goes into these simple phrases.
It really is, and it makes you realize there's always more to learn.
Oh, absolutely. Language is constantly evolving, new expressions popping up all the time.
And some of the older ones take on new meanings, too. It's like a living thing.
It really is, and it's part of what makes language learning so fascinating.
I couldn't agree more so. To wrap up this deep dive into everyday English, we've got to ask you, our listeners,
Yes, we do.
what other curious phrases have you come across?
The ones that made you stop and think, that's a strange way to say that.
Share your discoveries with us. We'd love to hear them, because ultimately, language is all about connection, and the more we understand each other's little quirks and expressions.
The richer our communication becomes.
So keep exploring, keep learning, and until next time, happy chatting.
Bye for now.